Hey. Sorry, sir. About to go up in a minute. Good. Well, no one's watching you anyway, so you'll be fine. I've been alright. 7-8-1.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going in the outside, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up to him.
Oh my God! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no, that's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
God, what?
Are you new to sim racing, or maybe a veteran struggling to reach the next level? Have you ever wondered how the aliens reach impressive lap times that seem impossible to achieve? If so, you're not alone. Most drivers reach a certain level and get stuck. But getting faster on track is easier than you think. Vera's coaches are some of the best sim racers in the world, and offer one-on-one driver skills training at affordable rates to help new drivers learn the basics and help experienced drivers break through to the next level. Are you ready to get faster and get off the iRacing roller coaster? If so, VRS one-on-one personal training is for you. If you've invested in your equipment, it might be time to invest in yourself. Just go to virtualracingschool.com and sign up for a 30, 60 or 90-minute session with one of our world-class coaches, and you'll learn exactly what to do for faster lap times and more podiums.
Hey everyone, the USF 2000 is a blast to drive now, and here's your chance to learn it quickly. From my tutorial, VRS created a free bonus track guide for the Laguna Seca circuit, where you can learn exactly what I do in every corner to improve your lap times and get faster on track. You'll learn how to easily recognize brake markers, you'll find out which curves to attack and which ones to avoid, you'll know when to use the full track and when a sequence of corners requires a compromise, and you'll learn how hard to brake and when to lift. The VRS quick reference track maps are available free to download and delivered each week to your inbox. The entire global MX-5 series is available, as well as bonus maps like this one and many more. So if you're a new racer, or a veteran, or just anyone who wants to learn how to get faster sooner, the VRS track guides are for you. Just hit the link or button on screen and get yours today.
Welcome to the home of British sim racing. This is Silverstone, a track which, by every measure and metric of these wonderful, wonderful machines, needs no introduction. This is where you see great pace find itself married up with great opportunity. This is where you go out there, you put 35 laps on the table, and you say, you've got what it takes. Welcome to Northamptonshire, and welcome to SimSpeed TV, as we bring ourselves coverage then of the 7th round of iRacing Grand Prix Series. Jake Sperry and Scott Fountain here to bring you all of the action then here today on what is a bumper grid looking to bring itself up to the highest possible level of action that we have going forward. Qualifying currently underway, but this Silverstone track has gone through many iterations. Fonty has been here, there and everywhere. This is the most current layout of the circuit, which was redone in 2011, and ultimately this track, for every single intent and purpose of what it has been and what it will continue to be as you go around this place, it is fast, it is ferocious, and you've got to be on your toes from minute one. Absolutely, and awesome races bring up some awesome results out there on track, as a lot of drivers look to try and put their best foot forward, find the times that work out for them. A couple drivers have decided to go differently on the strategy compared to a couple of others. The drivers of note, Mitchell Welker and Anthony Catt. That's the round that we've got coming up a week from today. Interlagos will be the 8th round of the championship. So there's the focus though on the championship standings, and without the drop rounds, Matt Wood looked absolutely impervious at the moment here. Fonty He's cleared by 140 points over Diogo Oliveira. Jorge Martinez currently classified in the 3rd position. So those points, they do add up. Matt Wood has been consistent over the first 6 rounds. Yep, so those are how the top 10 stack at the moment. They will have 4 drop rounds to go and play with over the course of a season. So it's always something to keep in the back of the mind, as is the fact that they've got 2 laps to set here. Marco Nurmela, the fastest by almost 0.2 of a second at this point in time. There's the number 4 car making progress then through Beckett into Chapel, the left. It's Hayata Asaga behind the wheel right now, looking to absolutely gun it here down this back stretch and get as far as possible around this lap, making sure that he has got the best possible lap out there, making everything happen on the brakes, through the right, in through the left. There's also the SRT machine looking to get a little bit of a challenge going. That's John Pat Kelly driving to the line. He doesn't have a time on the board, and the Saga's lap is done as well. In terms of drivers out there on track, it is the likes of Adam Webb, the only other driver out there who can improve then on his qualifying time. And we'll see whether he can as he makes a run to the line. 24th at this point in time, jumps to 22nd with a 1:29.8. Yeah, very decent field of drivers, and it really does show that everyone is looking like they are ready for a great race. The checkered flag drops here in terms of qualifying. We can take ourselves over to the grid then, see how they stack. Marco Nurmela will take the pole position then, a 1:28.102. We'll have the championship leader, Matt Wood, alongside for company. Row 2 will see the Brazilian Diogo Oliveira and the Australian Dan Jiang. They're in 4th position overall. Jorge Martinez starts 5th, and it's Reynaldo Augusto going from 6th position then on the grid. Jin Seyuk starts 7th overall with 8th place going to Jacob Reed. Tomoki Hirose starts 9th with Hayata Asaga in 10th, and all Japanese 5th row of the grid with Nico Veiranen and the winner last time out, Mitchell Welker, qualifying, we believe, on the medium compound tyre. So it's only 12th. Welker in qualifying. Stephen Filipovic starts from 13th with Tamas Jane 14th. Then it's Ray Griffioen and Jan Brezina on row 8. Row 9, we'll see Kent Nielsen and John Pat Kelly, 2 regulars in the series there, with Ben Horrell down the order in 17th alongside, 19th alongside Remy Garcia, making the top 20. Kleber Toffoli and Adam Webb have row 11, with Hiroyuki Sekaguchi and Anthony Katz on row number 12. And the final driver who did not set a time in qualifying was Luke Dowding in the number 7. So he has a lot of work to do to make his way through the field. It's a 5.89 kilometre circuit. It is 18 turns worth of action each time. And it's 35 times that we go around this fabled track. They line up on the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight and look to gear themselves up. That blast into Abbey. Turn number 1 here out on track. And if there is any time and there is any place you go and get some good work done, you do it early. Just waiting on Jorge Martinez at the last possible moment, gridding up then on the grid, or potentially he's going to start from pit lane. He gets himself set and ready. We're going to get the lights procedure starting then. Silverstone awaits round 7 of the championship. Is this the time that you put your best foot forward. Green flag in the air, and we are racing. Xiang doesn't get the best start. Great start from about the 4th row on backwards there. I believe it was one of the cars there doing well. Jacob Reed got off to a very, very good start. They run through and a big incident in the back. Everybody getting caught out there as they funnel on through the middle. So a big issue in the middle has caught out a bundle of drivers.
Yeah, certainly not the start that these guys want. A couple of those guys wanted there. Ray Griffey owned, tangled up in that one, and John Pat Kelly potentially as well. So yeah, not the start that they wanted, but great racing out here for Nurmela and Wood at the early stages of the race. Nurmela starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Wood, and Oliveira tucking there behind in 3rd. Jorge Martinez looks pretty racy. Looks like he's getting over the back of the car in front of him, and Jacob Reed just following behind.
Absolutely. Now head to Maggott and Beckett's section now for the first time in this race, and this is going to be where the real tyre killing starts then in terms of their racing out there on track. What is important to note, that incident was between Tomoki Hirose and also Jan Brezina on the opening lap. There is the number 4 machine of Hayata Asaga. Asaga's actually in the gravel right now, so there was issues at this point in time as we were focusing on one of the machines
Kent
there,
Nielsen.
be it Adam Webb or Ken Nielsen. I believe it's Ken Nielsen. So we have seen some big changes then in the opening stages. Nurmela leads, Wood second, Oliveira third. That much we know has not changed, but there'll be a lot of gainers through the field, and one of the big ones is Ben Horrell. He's up 7 spots at the moment as they go through the arena section then for the second time.
Yeah, fantastic little start there for Nurmela, and starting to pull a real big gap now. Almost open that up to a second. Looking a little bit further back here at the car of Ben Horrell. Kent Nielsen just in front of him. So yeah, everyone taking it kind of easy at the stage. Oh, nice little battle back here with Horrell.
Oh, you say easy, round you go.
Commentator's curve.
Just
Kent Nielsen.
Yeah, Ken Nielsen was there. They actually made contact through at the arena section, trying to make the pass. So at turn 4, there was a lunge, there was a bit of contact between Nielsen and Horrell, and ultimately continued all the way on forward. So that's why Ken Nielsen gets himself on the wrong side. So he can see all about attacking here from Ben Horrell. Just sit, wait, a little bit too early on the throttle then, and around you go. That's how quickly a race like this can fall apart around this place. So the focus still very much there at this point in time. Welker is on the soft, so started the race on the soft compound tyre, qualified on the soft. Just looking at the medium, so only Anthony Catt and Luke Dowding today on the yellow walled mediums to start then today's race. We are now on to the 3rd lap, and Marco Nurmela starting to try and think about breaking away. DRS, the drag reduction system, is now live and active. You've got to be inside 1 second at the activation point to make that a reality.
Yeah, that's exactly right. DRS such a big part of the series, and yeah, really plays a key part in the end result at the end of the day. And yeah, pretty cool method that they came up with for the DRS system many years ago. First came out, everyone was blown away by the use of it, and yeah, it works really well here on the simulator as well.
Certainly does, as we see the second groups now starting to form up. They can see in that group the likes of Mitchell Welker trying to charge back through. Said he really doesn't understand why he is so bad at Silverstone, why he can't unlock this track. As he goes through just behind Renato Augusto, it's a far cry away. 9th position is at this point in time to where he was last week, where it was a fight and a victory overall. So as they charge on the back stretch, Nico Veiranen dealing with it, but through goes Welker. He gets down the inside then of Renato Augusto, and Augusto with nowhere to go, struggles on the exit. So Nico Veiranen now with a chance, lunging up into club and can't get there.
No, fantastic pass there by Welker. I'm sure that he will make his way up the list, although he says that Silverstone isn't track of his choice and can't quite unlock it. One more laps around it will certainly help.
interesting battle right now will be for 4th, 5th and 6th positions. As we can see, Ben Horrell out there on circuit in the pink. Dan Jiang, the Australian, just behind Diogo Oliveira. They're effectively mitigating each other's battle here with Martinez and Jacob Reed in the Menards car just behind. The chase is all there. Everyone's trying to get themselves as much of a run as they possibly can. But this is where you get that effect of, well, you can't quite get a run on someone who's got exactly the same tools at their disposal as you do.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, we're going to depend on setup out here today, isn't it, really? Tyre choice isn't a massive one at this track by the looks of things, so for any two cars to start on the medium tyre, be interesting to see how they go.
Certainly will do. And on that hangar straight, this former airfield base, as they go through the right, held the inaugural Formula One race in their championships all the way back in 1950. And the chance to remove not quite yet forthcoming. And it's going to be an interesting choice to see when and where drivers come into the pits. Track temperatures, we are in the middle of the day, but it is a very cloudy day. It's only 22 degrees on track, so we're expecting the soft tyres to really last. Drivers in the pits then, Ray Griffioen, Hayata Asaga and Kent Nielsen, all three of them out of the race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Disappointing there for Kent Nielsen. He's normally a real consistent driver. I don't think I've actually seen him not finish a race in a very long time. So, yeah, not a good result for him today, unfortunately.
Just keeping an eye on some battles going on down the field. On the recoveries, Tomoki Hirose at this point in time, the number 22, down in 19th position, trying to get by Anthony Cat, who is on the yellow wall medium compound tyres and will be holding up the Mock Brawn, going through the long right at Luffield corner, leading to Woodcut. The former end of the lap now is effectively the start of the middle sector as they cross the start-finish line, or the old start-finish line, I should say. They go into Cops Corner. It's a very ferocious turn, even if it's either A, turn 1, or B, where it is right now in the middle of the lap.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Such an awesome facility. Love this track. And, yeah, pretty tough on the drivers, especially through that Mega and Beckett section. Probably my favourite part of the track, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting place to go through, and often imitated but never duplicated. Stays close though. Had a little sniff there, but not quite in line to make an attack happen, at least not yet, in terms of this race. Got those small battles going on. It's a pack here and a pack there. Remy Garcia just in front of this pack. They're fighting for 15th. He's got Kleber Toffoli just in front. They run into the arena section through turn 3 at Village into turn number 4, the loop corner, and moving up on the power Aintree and onto the Wellington Straight, which has been shrunk down a little bit in recent times, but Garcia with a search down the inside, and thank you very much. Toffoli gets well out of the way.
He certainly does get well out of the way. It was a nice pass there by Garcia, well executed, and yeah, chance of that one not pulling off from come round to complete laps 5 on to laps 6. Now get through this race pretty quickly, Reesbury.
Yeah, we certainly are. Now, here comes the chance then for Jorge Martinez in what is 4th or 5th position right now. Has Dan Jiang there in 4th, but Jiang has him covered. Going in through the long right-hander. This is probably a transitional season for Martinez. His efforts and exploits lie a little bit elsewhere. But going through then the Vale section onto the start-finish straight once again, and start 7th lap of the race. These two know that they can't be affording to sit by idly and waste their time. Matt Wood, by the way, 31.1 on that last lap, took 4/10 out of Marco Nurmela, brings that gap inside the seconds. We look from behind and ever so briefly look to Matt Wood. Wood is pushing. He is trying to get back then to the Racecraft Engineering car, but the gap to behind is 1.2 seconds. He may just ever so slightly be bringing Diogo Oliveira with him.
Yeah, these first three drivers, absolutely fantastic. Their ability is amazing. Good to see Nurmela really up there with pace. Yeah, struggled a little bit last week on that last lap of the race and managed to lose it. It was a very interesting track last week, Circuit of the Americas, and these cars didn't quite work too well under throttle. Just swap ends coming off the turn, but these cars certainly look to be going a lot better around here today.
They certainly do, and you do see it around this place, and how you can go and make moves and how you can open up opportunities to attack. So still, the Mag Performance car of Jorge Martinez can't quite find the right way to get that challenge. Jacob Reed, who has been up there, has been challenging before for victories in this series, sits there quietly in 6th, and just on the back of this train in 7th position is the South Korean Shin Se-yook, and someone who has gone nowhere so far in this race, hasn't really needed to at this point in time, has just been sat quietly waiting for opportunities to come to him instead. And this is more of a reality that you could say, Fonty, of I'm just going to wait for that first pit stop to come into play. Drivers are going to try and bring themselves to lap 17. If not, they're probably going to about lap 13, switching to the mediums.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just playing the patience game, not hanging within that 1 second range, which he currently is, 0.8 behind the car of Jacob Reed in front of him, and doing a fantastic job out there. I must say that the car of Jacob Reed's looks absolutely fantastic, and I say you come here playing Sunday morning my time.
Well, it's traditional Menards colours on the outside, then you've got peak colours there on top. So focus is very much there. DRS wide open, but not close enough yet. And you can see they were nose to tail as they were trying to charge on through into that section of road there through Stowe Corner. And you can see it a little bit further back. Ronaldo Augusto's been able to stave off Nico Veyronen's challenge, at least for the time being. So that will be a cause for celebration, at least at this point in time, but not until the end of the race just yet. So that is always going to be something worth keeping an eye on, as is the fight for the race lead, which all of a sudden has closed itself right up to half a second. The top 3 starting to encroach in on each other.
Yeah, they certainly are. This battle is going to get ferocious. Lap 9. So it's going to be interesting to see when they do come and make that first pit stop. Matt Wood is very good on strategy, very good at looking after his tyres, as we saw last week. Was really there in the hunt for the race win. Looking all over the back of Dermot here. And Diego Oliveira just sitting back there with the popcorn, waiting for something to happen for these two from South to pounce.
Well, there are chances available. Might be an undercut that could work. That's something also on the line. And Martinez now through, up into 4th position, past Dan Jiang, and did so on the run on the outside in towards Brooklands corner. So sold the dummy, went around the outside, and Jiang now under pressure from Jacob Reed trying to find the move. Not going to be able to just yet. They go through the veil on the brakes. And now Dan Jiang feels like the cork in the bottle in that little battle at the moment. But again, we're getting close to that pit stop window coming into play. Nurmela still leading this one, but managing at this point in time is the key. He's managing what is needed. As you can see, Ben Horrell in his own race. He's got there just by. That is Steven Filipovic.
Yep, that's it. He's a little bit further back than I would... than we've seen in previous weeks. Horrell though, Reed I should say, looking to make the move. He's going to go on the outside, and is he going to be able to get this done? He's going to have the inside line for the next corner. It's going to get done. Well done to Jacob Reed there.
Oh, there's a little thought though from Jiang on attacking the exit if possible. If he had the line for it, he could try and make a move potentially into Copse. Is right up behind, but can't get enough of a drive to make it happen. Dirty Ed's going to drop him back a 10th. It's going to be a long wait to the hangar straight to see that one come into fruition. So there's a lot of pushing going on at this point in time. The one thing that you can't afford to do is just sit back and rest on your laurels. That is always going to be something that will bring a little bit of trouble here and there. No looks of a move as they go into Stowe, but Matt Wood in second position again. Looks pretty close in terms of his fight for the race lead. Top three all there. They've got about 4.5 seconds to Jorge Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez dropping off quite rapidly, really. We've got a couple of cars potentially in the lane. That looks like Welker in the lane. We'll just confirm that is the case.
Yep, that should be. And as he comes in, 11 laps on the soft will be a definite move for car 11 to the medium compound tyre. So he's the only taker in the lane. Jan Brezina will also dive into the pits. So not many people deciding that early is the right call to dive in, get a stop done, get back out and away again. There goes Mitchell Welker, 4.5 second stop. Up and out of the pits here at Silverstone. It very much is on a drop. You go through the lane, it stays very level. Track does rise, but now Marco Nurmela still holding off, and he's doing just enough in the middle sector really here, Fonty, to cover off those moves going in towards Stowe.
Yeah, you're exactly right. His car is set up very well through that middle section of the track, and yeah, that's where he manages to slightly pull away and in a straight line. Well, because Matt Wood is under that second, the DRS is just keeping him in there. I think Nurmela has a little bit more pace overall, and he's going to dive into the pits. Here we go. That's yeah, probably the right call for him to make there. I think get those tyres really, get a fresh set. He'll come out in the lead, so if he can punch out some fast lap times straight away, then I think he'll pull a little bit of a gap between Wood. But in saying that, we know how great Wood is at looking after tyres, so this is going to be an interesting battle to the end of this race.
So Marco Nurmela deciding he will take a pit stop. We expect the medium compound tyres. There's some side by side through turn 1. Adam Webb and Remy Garcia going all the way to turn 3 as Nurmela will come out of the pits. So still it continues on here. Brilliant work between these two, but Remy Garcia taking the outside line in the SRT car. He gets the place then, so a good move, and moving up another position. And here's Jin Se-Yuk down the inside then at Luffield Corner. Still going to be fought here by Dan Jiang as they will go all the way, tyre to tyre, as they funnel through for Copse Corner. And it is Jin Se-Yuk who gets the place. Dan Jiang very much not willing to give up that one.
No, certainly wasn't willing to give up that one. Racing for position on track, so yeah, tried his hardest to get there.
Couldn't quite. That was the issue then. Wood will stay out along with Diogo Oliveira. Everybody, it seems, not willing to come into the pits here. Lap 12, they're trying to extend their stint to lap 17 if they can. And into the pits will come Nico Veyranen then. There is Marco Nurmela, who will be encroaching on some traffic in the not too distant future. It's a 3-car scrap. You've got Hiroyuki Sakaguchi there with Anthony Catt and Luke Dowding, as in comes Ben Horrell as well in to make a stop. So we are seeing drivers looking to make those pit stops as and when. But if there is any time to stay out, knowing that traffic could play a factor over this next lap for Marco Nurmela, now was the time to say, I'm not covering the move.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Matt Wood continuing to stay out there. Does still look to have the pace. It's 0.2 of a second off his fastest lap in the race so far. So be interesting to see what Nurmela can punch out in his first lap. Start-finish line very soon. Getting held up by traffic, which isn't going to be helping things.
Well, it is for position though, so they don't have to give it away. But Nurmela, with the drive, shouldn't get too much of a fight from Hiroyuki Sakaguchi, who sees Nurmela fly on by. And there is not much you can argue against that in terms of the way that they drive through at that point in time. So all of those drivers then who are staying out right now are looking to go one stop soft. That seems to be the way forward. The gap is 1.1 seconds between Matt Wood and Diogo Oliveira with the iRacing dashboard car on at this point in time. Going through the right-left then of the arena section. There is Jorge Martinez. Now, give some credit to Martinez over the course of this stint. He's been able to slash that 5-second gap to Oliveira down to just 2.3. So he is doing a lot of work here and burning a lot of fuel while the sun shines here as Martinez.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he hasn't taken a stop yet, so potentially he is going to split that into a half-half race. And we're going to see a lot of cars start coming in on lap 17 or 18. So, yeah, Martinez is very good at tyre strategy and looking after that car. So, yeah, he could still be in for a top 3 result here.
Certainly could do. And this is where we're starting to see those results come into play. And what you've got compared to your opponent becomes crucial. Now, Renato Augusto has got onto the back of Dan Jiang now, who clearly does not have the same race pace as his 4th place in qualifying would have indicated here. And he pushes a bit wide coming in out of the Chapel corner. And then thank you very much. It is going to be a freebie for Renato Augusto, who also gets the benefit of having DRS as he made that pass. So into the pits then come your leading duo. Matt Wood and Diogo Oliveira have decided they are coming in on lap 14. They've waited a couple laps here to get themselves going. They'll have 21 laps to finish in this race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is the exciting point. We're going to see how he goes in comparison to Nurmela. They will be a very pretty much identical pit stop time, I would think.
Well, the issue for Nurmela is he's stuck behind Luke Dowding, off and away, medium compound tyres up the hill. They've got a bit of side-by-side, so Nurmela's going to keep that place as he makes the pass on Luke Dowding. But, a lot of smoke there over at turn number 1. Someone's had an off there through the opening section, just trying to work out who it was. And it was Jacob Reed, actually, who found himself in trouble. He went all the way into the barriers. I just saw the smoke as they were going through, and Jacob Reed had an absolutely massive shunt through turn number 1, all on his own at this point in time, trying to keep up pace. His race over through turn 1, just pushes a little deep, little bit of grass, and at that point, bang. There's no way you can stop that. That is a heavy hit for the Pete Bernard's car, and that will be race over as far as he is concerned then from this one. Your leader out there on track now is Jorge Martinez. He's probably going to try and push it to lap 17, go soft, bring himself a chance. There's Tamas Shane at the moment, who is up in 5th position with a lot of drivers making their stops. Tamas Shane now the next to decide to come in and take that gamble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Focusing on Nurmela here, so Adam,
I'll tell you what though, Luke Dowding is really defending against Matt Wood, and it is costing Matt Wood the race. It may cost him 2nd position as well, trying to get by. And Dowding finally takes a big wide line. Finally through goes Matt Wood. Anthony Catt there hasn't stopped, he's just behind. You got that Oliveira trying to piece the way through. Sekaguchi and John Pat Kelly on top of that. It's all getting a little bit busy here. Anthony Catt having to defend now. It is medium versus medium. And they are 2 very old sets of medium compound tyres they go through. Catt on the outside, looking to hold the run. Has he got drive off the exit? The answer is no. Dowding keeps the foot in.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, not giving up that space easily. Side-by-side action for half of that. We're going to continue on, or we're going to go single file. Going back to Sainsbury, Matt Wood, I think is in a little bit of trouble. His pace is dropping off a bit. 3.5 seconds behind the race leader, Marco Nurmela, who just made a pass on Adam Webb. The race leader. Marco Nurmela doing a fantastic job there, and really 2 lap limits tyres for Nermala. Working out great. Matt Wood has got a really good spot now to be able to make these make the time.
Here's the difference maker. Marco Nurmela's going for a two-stop strategy. He's on the Red Bull soft compound tyres. No way he gets it to the end, but he will now try and make as much ground as he can over the course of this stint, give himself ample room to go out there to attack, and it's going to be something worth keeping an eye out on. So we'll see how this goes as they charge forward, but you've got Sayuk, you've got Reynaldo Augusto currently there at the moment. And now here comes Diogo Oliveira trying to line up the pass on Luke Dowding, and he gets it done.
Yeah, certainly does. Great pass there by Dowding, and by Oliveira, I should say. Dowding just kind of let him go there. Hang on the back there, Anthony Cat just fine behind them.
Yep, so we are seeing then those good moves coming in through at this point in time. They're getting through the traffic. Sekaguchi racing against the likes of Cat and Dowding at this point in time. Currently in 10th. They still have to make those stops. You can see just how dirty the visor is as we look from this camera. And they run all the way down the hangar straight towards their next destination into the pits now. Reynaldo Augusto, Jin Sayuk and Jorge Martinez expect them to go on to one set of softs, bring themselves home from there. Filipovic is staying out, so we'll take some laps in the race lead. The number 23 starting on the soft compound, so going even longer than everyone else is Filipovic at this point in time. And out of the pits comes Martinez, and he'll come out right behind Diogo Oliveira. He's got that set of softs to the end, whereas the main rivals around, you look at what Oliveira's on right now. Oliveira's going to be two-stopping potentially, or trying to one-stop those soft late on. And then you've got Matt Wood on the mediums, who is also guaranteed to go to the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if Nermala will do a second stop there for this race, mate. Is he going to try and look after those tyres right to the end? Maybe you're right, Sperry. Maybe he will go for two, but I think if he goes for two, he's going to end up where he does.
He definitely could do, and this is what Marco Nurmela's got to be careful about. He was one of the first drivers to come in and take his pit stop. He took to the lane at the end of lap 11 coming in for that, so 11 laps on his stint, and I don't see a way he goes 24 laps on a set of soft compound tyres to the end. It would seem like he's going 11, 12 and 12 to bring himself home and get his strategy working. There is Jin Sayuk out there for the moment, but as we just look a little bit behind, there is Nico Väyrynen. His early stop, in comparison to Reynaldo Augusto, has got him ahead, but he's got to defend.
He certainly does. To defend Väyrynen on the medium compound tyre. So not going to have as much pace as what Augusto does. See that pass happen in a matter of corners. Matt Wood has some good pace though. Very, I must say, for someone on a medium compound tyre, he's almost doing the same pace as his fastest lap on a soft tyre. So, and really not much pace difference between himself and Nermala, only 0.2 of a second. Nermala going at 1:13.9 and Matt Wood doing 1:31.1, so 0.2 of a second. Certainly pulling away as fast as what he would have liked.
Steven Filipovic then has come out of the pits. He's back in 15th position at this moment as Nico Väyrynen fights for that final spot in the top 10. There you can see Filipovic out there on circuit, who has driven quite nicely so far, just quietly kept himself to himself, and now we're looking to use the best tyres of anyone in the field to move on forward. Still haven't yet seen the stops though from the two medium compound runners, Luke Dowding and Anthony Catters. Filipovic and Toffoli now start their scrap 15th and 16th, but Dowding and Catters are the interesting ones. How long they decide they want to go. Do they leave it for 13 laps then on the soft? Do they leave it for 12, 11 laps on the soft? Depending on how far they want to push the medium tyres at this point in time. And there has been a change for position as Martinez is through on Diogo Oliveira, and made the move earlier on, and that was for a slowdown penalty, it seemed, from Diogo Oliveira, who got well off of the binders going through the early stages of the lap, and said, you know what, I'm not fighting Jorge Martinez. He can go and he can have his own race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just looking at this battle back here again, Dowding and Cat, their time difference between their fastest lap and their lap now is they're still doing the same sort of pace, so the tyres look to be still holding on at this stage.
They do, and for those runners, they are doing a great job on the mediums, so they're not really losing too much. Comparison best lap from Luke Dowding is 32.7, 33 flats he's on at this point in time. Welker and Sayuk then start to fight, and this is for 7th and 8th places as they run through the rights and the lefts here and into Beckett's corner. Chapel, the small left that leads onto the Hangar Straight. And for Sayuk, this is such a difficult section to get correct, that Maggots-Beckett section, especially in these machines, because you've got that dirty air which is giving you a boatload of understeer through that section.
Yeah, it certainly does. As your tyres are getting on, that understeer is going to become worse and worse and worse, and yeah, you can certainly find yourself in a bit of trouble. These medium compound tyres are really looking after themselves, so yeah, potentially the soft doing the same as well. We've got Matt Wood there doing exactly the same time as what Nurmiller is on track, identical lap times pretty much. Gap between themselves is 5 seconds though.
Oh, Welker not happy because he's been turned around out there, and it's in the arena section, so he and Sayuk were going for that same position, and really wasn't much in it. Fair bit of netcode as well. Certainly wouldn't have helped as they charged through. Welker is trying to get himself into play, and he's now behind Nico Veyranen. So they go through 3. Now here comes the look at 4. Down the inside, just slotting the nose there. And at the last possible moment, you know, there wasn't enough room to shut the door. But Sayuk, you'd say, just couldn't quite put himself in the right position.
No, certainly could have put himself in the right position. Doing a fantastic job out there on track though. Is Jorge Martinez. He's yeah, really started to get some serious pace into that car. Fastest car on track at the moment with a 30.7, so he could certainly be in contention here for the race win if that pace continues to shine. Although in saying that, Matt Wood has just pumped out a 30.8 second lap time to go fastest on track.
Well, he's done so, but it is a slower 30.8 compared to Marco Nurmiller at this point in time. So we are seeing how this race is really forming and developing. This battle continues though, as Veyranen and Welker go on, as too is Adam Webb fighting around here with Stephen Filipovic, and no chance yet of that one happening right now. So they go into the arena section at turn number 3. 90 degrees of right-hander, doesn't feel like it. Feels like 2 hairpins back to back. It's a 90 right and then into a hairpin. But as we focus even further back, John Pat Kelly, one of the, I would say, established names in this series, and he's got Anthony Cat just in front on fresher tyres. This is 18th and 19th.
Yeah, John Pat Kelly, absolute regular, comes there every week, and yeah, not certainly race-winning pace, but top 10 pace. Kelly normally has. So yeah, he's caught up and something at the start there. A fair way back from where he started. But yeah, great, clean, consistent driver, and great for the sport.
Yeah, John Pat Kelly started 18th today, and he's in 19th. And finally, Luke Dowding comes into the pits after being overtaken by Jin Sayuk going into Stowe Corner. So Dowding was able to get those medium tyres going the longest, which is 22 laps around the track before they felt icky and yucky, and deciding, you know what, not worth my time. I am going to decide to make a different call on strategy. Going to get back out then on a set of softs and attack the final stint.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Those tyres did last well. So he's got, what, 12 laps left. So pump these soft compound tyres and lay them down on the track. He's away from the pit lane. Oh, it gets very close to the pit wall there on the exit.
No, we've had contact, and it's Remy Garcia's SRT car in a bit of trouble. There was a half spin in front from Kleber to Foley, and effectively it just left nowhere to go for Remy Garcia, who was trying to follow in the tracks. It was through the arena section, so you can see already that they were fighting hard for place. There goes the pass around the outside. Not much that Remy Garcia could do there, but Fonte, it's coming into that arena section where all of the troubles come in. It's just a mistake by Toffoli that catches out Remy Garcia unawares.
Yeah, there we go. So we're about to see what has happened.
Leader is in the meanwhile. And as we go in towards turn number 1, we'll be in 4 where the issue happens. So following nice and calmly then into turn number 3. You're just going to see it here at turn 4. Just trying to get a drive. Just locks up the rear axle contact, and then secondary contact as Filipovic got through. A little bit of netcode on that secondary hit. So Nurmela has made his second stop. Another set of softs, trying to be as aggressive as possible. He's back behind Mitchell Welker, so he's in 9th place right now. I think victory's well out of sights right now. He'll be hoping for, what, 7th, maybe 5th place at best?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It's very, one of whom be regretting his decision to come in earlier. I think, the best strategy was definitely Matt Wood here today. Although, saying that, Jorge Martinez, you can't put down his strategy as well, because he's closing that gap to Matt Wood. Those tyres that Martinez has on six laps old so far, and he's got another 7 to go. So they should last the distance of that last 7 laps. And if he can keep his pace up, he will be in contention for this race win.
Well, it is 7 laps plus a handful more as we go on to lap 25 of 35, so 11 laps remaining in this race. You're 4 laps off, Fonzie, not too bad in terms of it. 1.7 seconds now, the gap at the front as Matt Wood loses 0.4 of a second on that last lap to Martinez, who did a 30.5. Oliveira comfortably in 3rd. It moves Sayuk into 4th, and this is the fight for the top 5 now. Dan Jiang versus Reynaldo Augusto, and both of them running very similar at this point in time. They've been pretty much with each other since the end of the first stints.
Yeah, they certainly have. Guys keeping it clean out on track, having a fantastic battle out there. They are closest battle on track actually at the moment. These two cars, 1.7 of a second separating them. The next closest back car of Mitchell Welker is chasing down Nico Vairinen there for 7th position. Saw Welker get caught up in a bit of drama there, which he was lucky not to get damage, or certainly damage that we can't see at this stage. And doing a fantastic job on 8th there.
Yeah, well, Mitchell Welker has been a driver who, even in his victory last week, wasn't completely out of the wars. There is Martinez chasing that gap down. It doesn't look like 1.7 seconds anymore because it's down to about a second here. This has been a really, really important lap from Martinez and what he's able to do. 31.1 from Matt Wood, 30.4 Jorge Martinez. That's 0.7 of a second. And Martinez here is right on the fringes of the draft. He's got the green light down the left-hand side of his dash. That indicates, Fonte, he has DRS for the Wellington Straight.
Yep, that's exactly right. 1 out of a second separating these two cars now. And that gap is going to close up very, very quickly. We're down to 0.6 at the end of the straight. Green light is off at this stage. Yep.
Every time he goes around, he knows he's got a chance. He's closing in that gap. It's going to take a couple laps to get to the move. It's going to be a difficult one in terms of what Nurmela's doing by comparison. He's doing 1:30.0s out there to try and chase down some time. He's about a second a lap quicker, and from where he is, 24 seconds back, ain't going to cut the mustard. He's probably going to get to about 4th, and that's it. But here comes the charge for Jorge Martinez. We look back from the diffuser of Matt Wood. No chance this lap, but Martinez is in that dirty air phase. This is a track where you do need that high downforce from time to time that gives you that ability to propel through the corners. And of course, when it comes to high downforce, Fonty, it means that you create more rake, it means that you create more dirty air.
Yeah, you certainly do, which makes it harder for these guys to get past. Plenty of passing opportunities at the Silverstone track, which we've seen so far today. But yeah, trying to get past a guy like Matt Wood is not going to be an easy task.
Speaking of not easy tasks, you've also got Nurmela now on the back of Mitchell Welker, so got to fight for 8th place as well. DRS flat will be open again for Martinez. He's not going to be able to make the move this time into Brooklands corner, but have an eye on Nurmela, why don't we? Because he's going to lunge here at turn number 3. Thought about it. Wide line taken though by Welker, covers off the initial attempt, and there's some contacts they go through. Welker just managing to keep it in a straight line. Nurmela just holding back, then making sure that the pass is a fair one, and there goes the anger from Welker over the radio, saying it's the same corner every time, every driver's hitting me in the back. Not what I want, that's not how I race. But when you're on medium tyres that are not responding compared to fresh softs, you know, you really do not know and understand until you get there how much of an element there is, and almost contact there as Martinez gets really close, and around the outside of Stowe corner, almost contact, trying to go back onto the racing line. Nurmela's having no love here with Mitch Welker.
No, certainly not. Welker entitled to drive his own races at his 4th position, so it'll make it easy for Nurmela, which he will be frustrated at. But just going back to your point there with Welker commenting everyone's hitting him in the same spot potentially, it's driving if that's the case, as we're going to see Welker make contact with the front there. He was being very racy. He has managed to hold it off from getting into the wall. Potentially should have just let him go. They are racing, and he clearly races hard out of track.
Yeah. And here comes Martinez for the race lead. Down the inside, he takes it. Jorge Martinez up into the lead as he gets the pass done on Matt Wood. That was a wonderful dive down the inside. Wood left a lot of space in terms of that attack. We'll catch it on the Virtual Racing School replay. Then exactly how that pass came about, just straight down the inside, was setting it up for a couple of laps, and finally bit the bullet and went for it. But to go back to Mitchell Welker, that contact there going through Stowe, all his own fault there. He was really trying to be aggressive, pinch Nurmela there on the outside, didn't need to fight as hard as he was, and ultimately there it goes. But now Dan Jiang and Reynaldo Augusto continue their scrap out there on circuit as Nurmela, in rapid quick time, has got back to Nico Väyrynen. So immediately has been closing up that gap exactly as needed.
So we're at 7 laps to go now, Sperry. We're on the right number. And yeah, I don't think Nurmela can get much further up once he gets past this car. Väyrynen, he's got 5 seconds to Reynaldo Augusto just on the road. Pass going to be done quite easily, I think. Maybe not. Yes.
Maybe is.
Maybe is. Good pass.
So around the outside, he gets it done. I wouldn't put it out of the realms of possibility to reach Jiang and Augusto, who are running times at this point in time which are low to mid 131s. Nurmela's lap there was a 30.6, so that's good. And Hiroyuki Sakaguchi getting overtaken there. That is Luke Dowding trying to run through the field. Anthony Catt will be next for him to chase down, and that is a battle on even keel tyres. Ben Horrell also has his race right now. Mitchell Welker just in front, so if Welker wasn't tilted enough already, I think he may just be looking behind him, going, not another, and that is Nurmela in trouble and out.
Oh, wow, let's go back and have a look here. He's had contact of some sort. I don't know.
No, he hasn't.
No?
He's just spun the car and said, you know what, it's not worth my time. So he's going through into turn 4, and something just doesn't give as he goes through. So here we go, goes through 3, and the moment he tries to set up for 4, well, the back steps out for 1, he gets in the grass, and the moment he's on that grass and spinning it around, yeah, no, my race is over. I'm not going to get what I want from it, and he chooses to retire the car there and then. So Marco Nurmela out. Donate your iRacing to everybody else then at this point in time as we run on through in towards these next sections of road. And there is Nico Väyrynen up in 7th position now, and knowing that he's just got to drive himself home to get that P7 out there on track. Martinez 1 second clear at the front of the field, but this is where you're going to start seeing that crossover potentially, Fonty, between soft and medium. And if that's the case, then this is going to be a very interesting last few laps as Martinez has to manage the tyres to hold off Matt Wood.
Yeah, he certainly does. That last lap previous to this one, he did punch out the fastest lap of the race at a 30.2 second lap time. So potentially just taking those tyres over the edge, and yeah, maybe there's not going to be much life left back in them. The Ole says that they're in second and third, they're actually in first and second, I think. Oh no, there we go, it's fixed up now.
There you go, so 0.8 of a second, so Wood has been a little bit better on this lap. So he's been trying to chase down Martinez. They are going to deal with traffic as well late on here in this one. They've got Remy Garcia just in front of them, so that will also be something to be worth keeping in mind as Ben Horrell continues his race, chasing down Mitchell Welker in the fight for what is 8th and 9th at this point in time, through the left and right, trying to attack off the exit. A little bit of grass there on the exit for Welker. This will bring Ben Horrell into play, and he will get the DRS. He'll use it properly. Will move over to the outside line, try and hold it, but again, just taking the road away is one Mr. Welker. But they're still not over as they go through the Vale, because there is some very heavy defending going on, and they are bringing Shane and Filipovic back into the fight.
Yes, they certainly are. This is a great battle here between these two drivers as well. Shane, Filipovic, always looking, certainly looking. So, not going to get it done just yet. Maybe this next corner, are we going to see a lunge? No. Shane is going to cover that. Great driving from these two.
Yep, Tamas Shane is doing more than enough at this point in time just to keep things in check in front of the field. Dan Jiang still having to defend as well in the fight for 5th place. So we've got battles everywhere. Here comes Filipovic there. He was just having a look down the inside, and Nagusta having a search there into Cop's corner. He wasn't going to get there either. So you're starting to see here, drivers are finding their races, they're finding their levels, and they're looking to try and attack at the right point. Gusto struggling a lot through that section. Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, and will not have enough of a run now on the Hanger Straight potentially.
No, I certainly won't have a run there. Just looking at these front two cars, Matt Wood has got the pace here. Got Martinez tyres have definitely dropped off. He's done a 30.9 second lap time. Matt Wood 30.9. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle. Both these drivers are fantastic on strategy, fantastic on making the right calls with their tyres, and we've seen two different calls from these guys. They're both finding themselves at the front here. It's going to be an interesting last 3 laps of the race. Does Matt Wood have it in him to be able to take this race win? We'll see in a moment's time.
We certainly will. 3.5 laps remaining then here at Silverstone, and Matt Wood is just there, poised, waiting for the chance to open up. He's been at 0.8 of a second for about the last 2 laps or so, hoping that Martinez's tyres just bite away a little bit more in terms of this race. There have been chances, there have been moments where it works, and there you can see Claver Toffoli in a little bit of a race right now is with Luke Dowding, who has just gone through up into 14th position now, along with Anthony Katz as well, who's got eyes on Adam Webb. So positions are changing, and they're changing quite a bit here in the final stages.
Yes, they certainly are. Another battle. Not Augusto. He's all over the back. Here we go. This is going to be good. We're going to see him throw it up there. Oh, great move.
But he's gone too deep, and Jiang's going to get it on the exit. Little wiggle there as they will now head to the Vale and club corner. Around the outside, Dan Jiang, the Aussie holding on and doing enough to keep hold of that 5th position. So he's doing quite a fair amount to get himself into play. as there's also been a move for position as Welker's lost a place now to Ben Horrell, and he'll have Tamas Shane all behind him in the later stages. But with 2.5 laps to go, Matt Wood's still there and still keeping the fight honest at the front.
Yeah, absolutely nothing in it between these guys at all. Got Matt Wood with a 30.7 lap time. 30.7 foot Wood, and we have Martinez 30.8. So, looks slightly faster, that gap down to 0.7 of a second. I think Matt Wood come last lap, he's going to be putting a lot of pressure on Martinez.
Yeah, but these two have raced each other many a time before. Chances that arise from these battles, we'll see how they go. Jiang still dealing with his fight at this point in time with the red F1 Apps car of Renato Augusto, and just in the back there as well, Anthony Catt trying to gear up a run on Adam Webb for position as well. So a lot of places to try and challenge, a lot of opportunities to arise, but they are not there. But the lead battle is where the focus is, because Matt Wood really starting to ratchet it up there. He definitely has DRS. He definitely has the tyres starting to pivot back into favour. He's not going to be close enough this time to make the move, but he's got a lap and a half to think about. Where does he want to get close enough to go and strike?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Where is he going to be able to strike? Half a second gap between these two now. Past the start-finish line. We'll start the last lap of the race.
No, not yet. Lap and a half. That's the old pit straight. Now go through comps, so they've got a lap and a half to figure it out. Matt Wood's got this run. Maggots, Beckett's Chapel, Hanger Straight, Stowe Vale, and one more lap to figure out how does he go and make this pass happen.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Matt Wood has that medium compound tyre on. Martinez has a 16 that old soft tyre on, so those soft tyres are going to be hurting at this stage of the race. He has got incredible pace for a tyre that is 16 laps old though, I must say. 30.9 for the last lap by. It's yeah, quite impressive to see how well it does.
But for the first time, Martinez drops a 31 on the board. Matt Wood knows that on this final lap, he's got to be alert, he's got to be vigilant, and he's got to find the right pass out there as he goes through turn 4. He's going to struggle with dirty air coming out then of the arena through Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. He's not going to be in a position to go and make a move for this one. They have been two classes of the field as also this battle goes on. Through goes Welker over the anti-cut curve on Ben Horrell, who's trying to pivot to that inside, trying still to pivot to that inside, and still they fight pretty neck and neck as they go through the final stages. Shane as well, and Filipovic trying to get through. Cops Corner goes the leading duo at this point in time. Are you going to be close enough, Matt Wood, to go and have a strike? They go through, look at that, just about a 1/10 of a second. Wood being really aggressive here through these corners. This is where he's going to drop the time, but now if he's got a chance, and it looks like he's in the mix, this is where you've got to go and make it happen. Has he got enough for a run here against Martinez? He thinks about the inside, it's not quite there, but he still has a little lunge, potentially at the Vale, using all of the road and towards Club. Has he got enough on the brakes? He does not have enough, and now hope the car is settled. Jorge Martinez, not the first time at Silverstone he's won like this. Brilliant driving once again by him. It'll be a long way for Oliver, and Jin Seyuk will take 4th position overall. And it looks like Ben Horrell's had an issue on the final lap of the race as he had himself a massive spin coming out of turn number 5.
Yeah, what a great finish to this race, and yeah, some awesome battles there for these guys. Luke Dowling way back in 14th, he's still battling. Oh, there we go. Made a little bit of contact there with the back of Adam Webb.
Nearly, but Webb still held, and now it's going to be heavily defended. He'll try and go the long way around. Oh, he's pulled a masterclass. That is just a case of better tyres getting the move done at the final stages as they go through. Worth noting, there's a lot of smoke there at the final section. Tamashene had spun it coming out of the final corner, and did he go and take it? The answer is no. We actually lost a place on the line to Steven Filipovic.
Yeah, we're going to go back and just have a look at this one.
So we have a look here. This is how easily it can go wrong. Going through the final corner, back just steps out. The line is just there. Filipovic steals it by a 10. So Tamashene, very unlucky there, just losing a position out there outright. So let's get confirmation of result then from this one at Silverstone. Jorge Martinez, a return to form for him, holding on that victory, 53 minutes 46 seconds, doing so by a margin of a quarter of a second in the end over Matt Wood. Diogo Oliveira will take the final spot on the podium, with Jin Se-yuk in 4th position and Dan Jiang rounding out the top 5. Ronaldo Augusto tried every which way to get by Dan Jiang. He couldn't manage that in 6th place, with Nico Veiranen in 7th and Mitchell Welker having a very frustrating race by his standards in 8th overall. Steven Filipovic managed to finish 9th, with the top 10 rounded out by Tamashene. Anthony Katz, alternative strategy, along with Luke Dowdings, gives them 11th and 12th. 13th belonging to Adam Webb, with Hiroyuki Sekiguchi in 14th, just holding off John Pat Kelly, with Clayton Toffoli 16th and Tomoki Hirose in 17th position. Ben Horrell's spin late on dropped him all the way back to 18th. 19th in the end belonged to Jan Brezina, and then 2 laps down was Remy Garcia. And then you hit the retirees. Marco Nurmela, Jacob Reed had his dramatic incident, Kent Nielsen, and then on the opening lap, Hayata Saga and Ray Griffioen. Their races all over. iRacing for today all over as well. And our next port of call for round 8 of the championship will be over to Brazil and to Interlagos, as a track which, again, one of the fabled classics when it comes to iRacing action. If you want more opportunities to get yourself involved, check over all of what iRacing has to offer, especially on the official side. And a massive thanks to the iRacing Open Wheel community today for bringing us the ability to cover the iRacing Grand Prix Series, as well as, of course, our sponsorship from the Virtual Racing School, titled sponsors of our replays here at SimSpeed TV. But from the team here, Scott Fountain and myself, Jake Sperry, it's been a pleasure to bring you through all of the action. Martinez is just so good when it comes to tyres. He seems to have this ornate ability to manage soft tyres better than anybody else can, and it has manifested in victory over Matt Wood. Maybe a little too late, but Matt Wood is just so consistent. You've got to be up at his level and consistently beating him. You'll see you next time out, 1 week from today, Interlagos, the next place.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rid of the outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my god! Oh! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
6 very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
Are you new to sim racing, or maybe a veteran struggling to reach the next level? Have you ever wondered how the aliens reach impressive lap times that seem impossible to achieve? If so, you're not alone. Most drivers reach a certain level and get stuck. But getting faster on track is easier than you think. VRS coaches are some of the best sim racers in the world and offer one-on-one driver skills training at affordable rates to help new drivers learn the basics and help experienced drivers break through to the next level. Are you ready to get faster and get off the iRating roller coaster? If so, VRS one-on-one personal training is for you. If you've invested in your equipment, it might be time to invest in yourself. Just go to virtualracingschool.com and sign up for a 30, 60 or 90-minute session with one of our world-class coaches, and you'll learn exactly what to do for faster lap times and more podiums.